You know, the other thing that is worrying, the day the minister held his press conference and said that, oh, there's a figment of people's imagination and so on. That same night, somebody went and dug and saw the minister's speech in February this year and put it on the net. I put the two side by side. Speech in February and speech in September. And I couldn't believe that I was seeing the same person. I couldn't believe that I was seeing the same person. I mean, this level of duplicity cannot be accepted in any decent society. Indeed, to be honest with you, if this level of duplicity had been displayed, even in some banana republics, the minister himself would have tendered in his resignation. This level of duplicity, saying one thing in February and denying yourself in September, complete denial, it's really shocking. I suspect something happened, and it's only a suspicion. You know, many of these high-profile public personalities, I don't think they take their time to read things that are put before them and to critically analyze the things that come before them. When they read it and the English sounds flowery enough, they're happy. They will go with it. That is one of the major problems of our public administration. I used to work in the ministries. And I used to be a speechwriter. And on many occasions, I wrote speeches for ministers and so on. And there's a fact. I mean, Honorable Inusa Fuseni has been a minister before. I wrote speeches for ministers. And I wrote them as drafts. Gave them to ministers, went to the function with them, and found them reading my draft from head to toe. Not one word change. And it used to surprise me, even as a speechwriter. You understand? Because I can't be 100% right. Normally in the ministries, you know what happens. They have the speeches file. Speeches file is there. In the public service, they have the speeches file. So if the minister minutes has been invited to a function and he minutes, in the ministries it will go to chief director will minute sometimes to public relations officers and so on. So all that they do is that they take the speeches file and look for similar occasions which have occurred before and the speeches which were given. And then they copy that speech and send to minister as a guide. And so minister will go and read that speech. The same speech which was read 5 years ago by his predecessor, you go and read it and create a mess for everybody. You understand? So we should pay attention to speech writing in the government agencies and so on. We should pay attention. Look at how the president was embarrassed on the day of his inauguration. It's a problem of speech writing. You see, people think that speech writing, you just go there and speak English and then you get some applause. Of course, if you're a minister, you are speaking in public, they will applaud you. It's part of the trick, you understand? They will applaud you and so on. And they think it's fine. So they'll go and piece together speeches. Even if they piece them together, you're lucky. Sometimes raw, ditto. The same speech which was given 6 years ago, they come and give it to you to read. They just change dates and names and give it to you.
They don't even change the date properly.
Yeah. You know, so a lot of the problems is coming also from speech writing. When ministers and so on are not diligent enough, they can cause a lot of problems. When the finance minister went to Parliament to read the 2019 budget, I'm sure he read this thing about comprehensive sexuality education without even knowing its implication. He didn't put it there, I'm sure, I'm 100% sure, that the Minister of Finance did not put that in the budget, but it was there and he read it. And he read it as if it's his own.